everyone is joining at a rapid rate. I like seeing these numbers go up.
Very good. Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We'll give everyone a second to get logged in before we get going. All right. Hello, and welcome to our webinar, Running a Value Lab, Collaborate to Grow Your Existing Accounts. This webinar is brought to you by Rain Group, a global sales training and performance improvement firm that helps companies unleash the sales potential of their teams. I'm Olivia, your webinar host. Before we get started, we have just a few housekeeping notes. First, you can type in any questions into the Q&A pod. We'll answer a handful of these at the end of the webinar. Two, we have a couple of polls throughout the session, so keep an eye out and cast your vote. Three, we are recording this event, and you will receive an email by the end of this week with links to watch the recording and to download a PDF of the slides. Now to introduce our speaker, Andy Springer. Andy is the Chief Client Officer here at Rain Group and a recognized authority on high-performance sales. Since 2020, Andy has led Rain Group's global delivery team, driving measurable results for clients worldwide. Over the past 10 years, Andy has spearheaded some of Rain Group's most impactful programs and delivered outcomes for hundreds of thousands of participants across some of the world's most iconic brands. Over to you, Andy.
Thank you very much, Olivia. Hello, everyone. I'm seeing lots of familiar faces and some first-time listeners. Welcome to you, and good morning, good afternoon, and for some of you, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Yes, my name's Andy Springer, if I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, and I'm very excited to be here with you on our Value Lab webinar. So before we jump into it, let's make this real. So this isn't theoretical in terms of what we're doing. Here's an example to kickstart us in our time together, where we've got an organization like Urban Science who's used Value Labs to bring structure, consistency to technically strong teams who weren't traditional sellers, helping them shift to more value-first client conversations, which is certainly one of the aims of what will help you achieve here today. And the impact for them was practical, not dramatic. They protected renewals in competitive situations and uncovered additional growth opportunities, not by becoming different people, but by changing how they engage their clients. So let's see how we can show up and realize the value for both our clients and our selling organizations with the use of Value Labs. So just deep diving into some of our research as well. So only 14% of buyers, when we research, say that sellers help them discover strategic opportunities. Most insight that buyers are realizing or obtaining is coming from elsewhere. What we did study and uncover was that top performing strategic account managers are 3 times more likely to grow revenue by 20% in their accounts. And they're over two times more likely to have a clear, effective process for identifying and creating additional value for their accounts. Sellers often aren't proactive at bringing their accounts new opportunities to add value and contribute to their client strategy. And so the difference is clear with top performers, because they have a process in place to identify opportunities to drive value for their key accounts. And as you would know, and some of you may be recalling, and some of you may be seeing what we define as our value proposition or your value proposition for your clients. And the value proposition that you bring will change based on an account that you're engaging with, based on the opportunities that you are pursuing with your accounts. And they are a collection of reasons why your buyers buy from you, not the reasons why you think you should sell to your buyers. These are made up of 3 pillars. Now, if you take any of these away, it becomes more challenging to sell in that account, or to advance and win that opportunity with less friction. So I'm not going to go into detail of these 3 categories. Some of you may have experienced that we've gone through this in detail before, but I'll give you a quick overview to help build foundation for what we're about to cover in the Value Lab. What we need to do is we need to resonate with our buyers. and they need to understand the need for your solution. We need to differentiate in the eyes of our buyers so they perceive you as the best option. And we need to substantiate to help build trust with our buyers to convince them that you can help them achieve the results with what you're proposing. We need to note here that your value goes beyond just your value proposition. Modern selling requires the seller to become the value as well, infusing it across the sales process and positioning themselves as trusted advisors to their buyers. So I want to hear from you before we go any further. So I want you to drop in the chat for me, thinking of a time you wanted to expand value for one of your clients. How did you get started doing that? What are some examples that we have in our collective brains trust, which I'm going to be tapping quite a bit very shortly? You're going to help us and engage with us and play the role of a participant in the Value Lab shortly. But share with us in the chat. I'll just switch that so I can see it. Think of a time you've wanted to expand value for a client. How did you get started? There we go. We've got James. Ask them where we could. So we've asked the client. James has told us we've asked the client where we could be adding value. Wayne is saying research, doing really good research. Mark is saying the same, doing really good research on the account, industry, and individual in order to identify what value looks like from each of those perspectives. Alicia is saying asking open-ended questions about their current state. Thank you, Alicia. Marty is saying started understanding how large the problem they are trying to solve is, how big, how wide, who are all that are impacted, and who cares about it. Great one. Thanks, Marty. Dan saying pique their interest with a teaser type email stating we have something new that could enhance what they're already doing. So value through bringing something new to the table. Danny's saying asking discovery questions to find out what their needs are. All right, Sarah, listening for additional pain points, offering introductions to internal experts who may be able to help. David is saying understanding their strategic plan and how to fit into it, I would say there. Thank you, David. Robert, need to understand what value looks like for them, asking great questions. That's an interesting one, Robert, because sometimes we ask really good questions, and I know there's plenty of buyers that we've all engaged that actually don't know the answer to that. They don't know what value looks like in some cases. Not all cases, but it may not be obvious to them, and that's why they're reaching out to market to find what value is out there that they're unaware of. Kurt's saying leading with insight and guiding customer through needs discovery. So lots of needs discovery here, lots of asking questions, lots of doing our research is ways in which you are looking to expand the value you can bring to your client. But really good starting points in terms of those examples. Thank you, everyone. We'll just park the chat there and let us continue on the journey. So there's three ways that we have identified very successfully, and as you saw from the opening example, being able to scale and cascade across many selling organizations throughout the world. So each of these approaches in terms of these three ways to expand account value are equally important, and none are necessarily better than others. So the first one is value connection. This is uncovering the wants, needs, and strategic agenda of our account, and as possible, match the wants and needs with ready to deliver products and services and capabilities that our organizations are set up to deliver. Now, this is the most obvious one, and throughout the world, wherever I go, all different types of selling organizations we have the privilege of working with, this is the most common one. I uncover needs, I do my research, and then I align those needs that I uncover to the products and services that we offer, and often package that up as a solution in order to be able to meet those needs. So this is value connection is what we most commonly are aware of and we're familiar with, and in our normal sales motion, a lot of us are doing each and every day. Next one is value creation. This is where we start getting a little bit more advanced. This is where we uncover the wants, needs, and strategic agenda of the account and go above and beyond our normal offerings to build additional value for the account, bringing together a range of capabilities to help solve a customer problem in a novel or in a tailored fashion. Now, this is This is definitely something where we start to see a mix, start to see a blend. We see a lot of value creation. We don't often see huge volumes of value creation. And that is something that obviously we're going to help a lot of you with here today. But what I will tell you is the third one is what we see top performers doing regularly, often, and doing it in I would say, impeccable fashion. Some of the examples I've seen. And value co-creation is where we uncover the wants, needs, and strategic agenda of the account. Then we work together with our buyers to conceptualize, build value for the account in partnership with them. Now, let me talk about the different elements of those on this slide. I'm not going to go into the detail of each of them. We will share these out, but value connection is where we see, as I said, most sellers live. Value creation is where we see more advanced sellers live. Value co-creation is what we see top performing sellers do, and they do all three, and they've earned the right to co-create with their buyers. Now, that's a really important point. You need to earn the right to co-create. Your buyers need to see you as a source of value before they're willing to open up and co-create with you. Because if they don't see you as a source of continuous value, they're unlikely to want to work with you or invest more time because they see or there is a potential risk that investment of time with you won't yield the outcome that they seek. So the best way to look at this is if we're gonna take steps up the ladder from value connection to value creation to value co-creation, the best way for a lot of you to understand how we make that step to value creation is to understand a method that enables you to do that internally first, so that you will then be able to create value that you can bring to your accounts consistently, so that you're then invited to co-create and move into that value co-creation space. And we're going to show you now ways in which you can do that and do it both internally and also be invited to the table to do that externally with your buyers over time. But first, I want to focus internally, and we're going to focus on running what we call and showcase to you what we call an internal value lab. So a value lab is a structured, facilitated conversation designed to uncover untapped value and align around what matters most in your account. Now, it is about co-creating with them in the future, but it's not about pitching to them. It's about bringing forward new ideas, building shared ownership, and ultimately, over time, you'll be able to strengthen your executive alignment for those who are looking to do that. We run value labs internally first to sharpen the strategy first. Then, eventually, we run them externally with clients to define opportunities and agree clear and joint action plans. Now, value labs are your means of introducing these new strategic ideas and initiatives. And if you're leading a value lab, which we're about to see someone lead a value lab, it's your job to facilitate, not to command the discussion. The idea is to collaborate and to ensure that we focus on the account and value. And ultimately, what happens is when we are continuously bringing new value to the account, new opportunities unlock themselves. All right. So some level of pre-existing trust is going to be necessary when we move to that external value lab. But as I said, for now, we're just going to focus on teaching you how to create value for your accounts using value labs internally. So the process for running a value lab, we use what's called the 4 stages of structured problem solving. We're going to show you each stage, and we're going to have a live example we're going to run through, and we're going to ask you to participate in these value labs as we go. If you're a seller we might have people from sales enablement here. We might have people from sales leadership here. It doesn't matter which role you play, you can participate in a value lab, and you'll see in a minute how that can be. We're going to get a download from the account lead. So we're going to be introduced to our account lead in a sec, and they're going to download on everything that they know about the account at the moment. So everyone who's participating in the value lab can get a really good understanding of the account, the current state, what problems they're solving, what aspirations they have, and get a really clear view of where they're at right now. We're then going to, as participants, be able to ask the account lead all the questions that we have top of mind to deepen our understanding of the account beyond the download that we've just received, so that we are in a really good position to understand the account, so that when we move to the third stage, which is ideate, and we're sharing ideas of new value we can bring to the account, we're going to have good context to be able to structure and bring those ideas, or create those ideas from.